Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101 with your host, Maxwell Starr, and we also got Greg here.
It's a twosome, gruesome twosome. How exciting.
Well, there's supposed to be others showing up, but they're late, so we're just going to start and do this anyway. And if they don't show up, then fuck it. Me and Greg will just have to drink twice as many beers
That's right.
to make up for it. And tonight's beer is one that's worth drinking. One, I wouldn't say it's worth drinking more than one of, but it's definitely easy to, considering we're taking a look at Molson Cold Shots. Ooh.
Oh, boy. And I've got one that's twice as big as yours, so I'm basically drinking two of them.
So that counts as two.
Yeah. So, lucky me.
All right. I'm not sure why my antivirus keeps popping up with a screen. Anyway,
Hack you a virus. Scott's trying to hack you.
Now it's just trying to do an update. Maybe it needs to repair it or something. All right. So let's get down to who we have with us. Was Greg. Hi, Greg.
Me.
Ooh, proper glassware.
I got a Canadian glass, and it's from a place that no longer exists. It's called Filthy McNasty's Bar and Grill.
Filthy McNasty's. Somehow, some way, that sounds like a bar that's right up your alley.
It does, but the thing is, I don't believe I've ever been there. I'm actually not entirely sure where these glasses came from. I don't know if they were given to me by somebody or possibly even Agnes got them when she worked at Molson. I'm not sure, but I don't think that place has existed for a little while. So, I think they've been closed for at least 10 years or so. So, never knew that. And it's always the greatest glass for beer. I say that sarcastically because if you even put any kind of too abrupt of a pour, you will get an awful lot of head on this. But I'm actually doing an okay job. Look at that.
Filthy McNasty's. It was apparently on 130 Eglinton Avenue, East Toronto.
Sounds about right. I think there was one in Mississauga, if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah,
it was a chain. It was a chain brand. There's
name over for Filthy McNasty Sports Bar. This is on January 2010, so that goes to show you how old that glass is.
Yeah, I wasn't even legal drinking age then. Oh wait, maybe I was.
Yeah, you were. Pretty sure you're getting drunk.
Hey, good Martian.
You're not that young. All right.
Sadly, no.
All right, so we got Greg taken care of here. I might as well read the history on this, and it will just overcompensate for the rest of the episode by reading the extensive history I wrote for the original Molson Canadian. So whatever.
Read the entire Wikipedia page.
We're gonna read the actually. This is longer than the Wikipedia pages for Molson Canadian. It's kind of fucking weird. All right, Molson was founded in 1786 in Montreal, Quebec, and it is the oldest brewery in North America still in operation. On May 12th, 1782, and at the age of 18, John Molson left his native England for Canada, landing in Montreal in June. Shortly after his arrival, he began working at the Thomas Lloyd Brewery and eventually purchased the brewery in January of 1785. Afterwards, Molson returned to England to liquidate his assets, acquire modern brewing equipment, shipped a shipment of barley and hops to himself, and then returned to Montreal, opening his brewery in July 28th, 1786. Due to life in Canada, brewing was limited to 4 months of the year during winter. The summer months, due to lack of refrigeration, the ale was stored in underground vaults to keep cool as ice, taken from the river in the winter. In their first year, the brewery made 4,000 gallons of beer, selling it for 5 cents a bottle, but demand grew by 1791 and production had increased to 30,000 gallons per year. Nice. Fast forward to the 20th century, you got 1957, the Molson family acquired the Montreal Forum and the Montreal Canadiens Hockey Club. In 1958, Molson acquired 6 breweries across Canada, expanding the company's reach nationwide. And a year later, in 1959, introduced their well-known beer, Molson Canadian. Ooh, I even have a retro Canadian glass.
Ooh, that is retro. Fancy.
Yeah. So in 1989, Molson merged with Carling O'Keefe, turning Molson into Canada's largest brewery and 5th largest worldwide. In 1993, Molson entered into an agreement with Miller Brewing to establish a major presence in the U.S., and in 2005, Molson merged with Coors to become Molson Coors. In 2007, Molson Coors and SABMiller began a joint venture in the U.S. market that lasted until SABMiller was acquired by AB InBev. But in the aftermath, the exchange of brands, including selling the entire the Miller brand portfolio, Molson Coors emerged as the third largest brewery in the world. The Molson family is still involved with the company. The sixth-generation family of Eric Molson retired in 2009, with his son, Jeff Molson, currently serving as chairman of Molson Coors. He's also, I think, the owner of Montreal Canadiens at the time. Got to talk about my hockey team somehow. Molson currently operates a major regional brewing centers in BC, Ontario, Quebec. What?
Your hockey team, the Leafs, right? Go Leafs, go.
Sure. Molson currently operates major regional brewing centers in BC, Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, and in 2014 made up 40% of the. That's in 2014, so this is over 12 years ago, but it might still be true. 40% of the Canadian beer market. That's pretty massive. So, Molson Cold Shots is a 6% ABV high gravity lager. It was released sometime in the early 2000s. I couldn't pinpoint exactly the year. I think maybe 2004. As, of course, a stronger alternative to Molson Canadian. Formerly, it used to come in 250 ml cans, single cans that looked like Red Bull cans. But now it comes in these little tiny mini cans, like you get those little mini cans of pop, 222 milliliter cans.
Yeah, because you're supposed to shotgun a bunch of those before you go out, and then don't spend too much money actually on alcohol.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, they used to come in like a Red Bull style can. Now they come in this one, the cans that look like just like those little miniature, like mini cans of Coke, which conveniently has about an ounce less of beer. So it's also shrinkflation. And I did re-review my old review, and this is kind of spoiler in my history, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. But in 2011, when I originally reviewed it, an 8-pack of these cans in the 250 ml cans was $12, and the 8-pack is now $15. I think I remember them costing like $10 for an 8-pack at one point, but the price is
well, every time they do something like, hey, well, I don't know about your province, but every time they do something like, hey, we're going to put beer in grocery stores or convenience stores or whatever, also we're going to up the taxes on them a little bit, but we didn't tell you that.
Right. So, Greg, since you're the only one here, might as well talk about your history.
You saw me pour it. You saw this. I'm pretty sure I've never. Yeah, it's possible at some point in my life I've had this before. I don't recall ever having this before. Hold on, I didn't check my Untapped. I'm but I'm pretty sure I've never. It's totally possible at some point in my life somebody has handed me one of these and I've had one. But as far as I'm aware, yeah, I've never tapped it in, so therefore it's not official. As you do know, I have had the 7.1. You know my thoughts about that one. So to my knowledge, this is the first time having this, but with the caveat that maybe somebody gave me one. It was like, here, Greg, you want to get drunk? I'll be like, yeah.
All right. So I guess I got to say this little mini Molson Canadian glass is actually the perfect size for one of these little cans. Okay, so my history with this beer is right dating back to the very start of my experimentation phase at the start of my quest in the craft beer. I feel like these showed up in New Brunswick around 2009. I'm not 100% certain on it because you're starting to get into that fuzzy territory, but like this is like around the time I started getting into beer. I started noticing this is one of the options that they had on the shelf, and I remember buying these things at like I want to say they were $10 a pack, and for 8, and it was just for the sake of trying it. Okay, I'll buy it, and I remember I didn't hate it, and considering the price, it was like one of the best price performance kind of beers that you could get. So I've had a number of these over the years, although I got to admit, it's not something I would have gravitated to in recent history, just because there's a ton of better stuff to drink.
Especially if you got to buy an 8-pack.
I do know that I like going back on the history of like say it was like one of my earliest beer reviews. It's like review number 136 back in September 2011 is when I posted the review, and I've gotten lots of comments on that video about people telling stories about the college life and how they used to buy like 8 packs of this stuff and it'd be like that shit that they would drink to at a party or something just because it's cheap. It's alcohol. So it's just you and me, guess.
Do we have any comments?
We don't have any comments. We don't even have anybody watching.
Oh wow, this is I'm sure it's because everyone's celebrating Canada Day, right? Like, normally they'd love to just be watching our show on a Wednesday night.
They're out celebrating Canada's birthday in their birthday suit.
There you go. Well, I mean, if you're gonna celebrate, it's a good way to celebrate it. So
I think it's a good opportunity to bring up the topic that a couple of weeks ago we did Molson Cold Shots Max. I remember, you hated it.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely despised it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind it, but my rating was better.
I hated it so much that I, at some point, may buy another can of it just to see if it was an off can or something. Because I expected it to not be good, but I didn't expect it to be as bad as it was. So I'm almost like, I almost question if I had an off can or something. Because I'm like, I don't feel this beer should be this bad, even though I don't expect much from Molson. But
I mean, that's pretty accurate. Maybe, and you know what? It's funny because when I was looking up beer history on this beer, apparently in 2010 they did have like a yeast problem or something like that where the beer tasted off. Who knows? Maybe there's a recall for that batch that your can of cold shots came Max.
Yeah, I doubt there's a recall. They're just like, sell it to the alcoholics; they'll be fine. We'll do better.
That's another thing. Like, who cares? Like,
also, I feel like you're shocked that you get out of a can. You don't care about the taste that much.
Well, there's that. There's also a little bit of if it's Cold Shots Max we're talking about, it's not really an established brand name beer. It came out last fall. Doesn't really maybe have the loyal following. So if it's not selling well and nobody really gives a shit about the taste, and they're really just buying it for the price and the fact that 7.1%, they probably just don't fucking care.
No, probably not. It's hobo beer territory, and Facts 10% used to be like fucking $2.50. Now it's like $5 and something. So I mean, like, if it's difficult for you to scrape 2 nickels together to get drunk, then perhaps perhaps Molson Cold Shots is a reasonable compromise, where you can still get a pretty good buzz for less money.
That's something that sounds like wild to me. Like, what the fuck is with the prices of Facts in Ontario? You're saying it's $5? It's still $3.98 per can here for a can of Facts 10.
I'm pretty sure it's more than that. Let me check. I remember last time I looked.
Usually it's New Brunswick that's got the beer prices that are fucking well past Ontario.
Maybe you guys have better. Well, hold on, let me check. I'll double check in case I'm mistaken. So Facts. Okay, so I was a little off with the price. It's still more expensive than you guys. So Facts it's usually $4.35 a can. It's on sale for $4.05 right now. So it is, but it's still more expensive than what you guys pay. So, but I thought it was more expensive than that. But
no, a lot more. It is more, but okay. So if that's not $5, it just feels like $5 when you're paying $4.35 a can.
Yeah, basically. I mean, our taxes are also included too, so that's like all in. But
yeah. Same with here. $3.98 a can for Facts 10. So how much was that single big can of Cold Shots that you bought?
Let me look. Cold Shots is Cold Shots Max was $2.75. Cold Shots 6 was $2.65. So from an alcohol perspective,
that's not bad.
If that's what you care about, you're only paying an extra 10 cents a can for Molson Cold Shots Max. So I mean, alcohol-wise, it's a pretty good bargain.
That's a hell better. I don't know if it's S plus 6%, same size can as Facts 10.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to drink a whole lot more beer. Probably is a better value.
I mean, but you know, two Molson Cold Shots 7.1. Taste aside, if you just want to get annihilated, two 7.1 cans is going to get you annihilated more than one 10% can is. So,
How much did you say the 7.1s were again?
275 and 265 for the 6.0.
Yeah,
so only a 10-cent difference.
Yeah, the Max would be a whole lot better of a value for someone who wants to get a couple of cans and drink them under a bridge.
Now that cold shot pack that you got, the 8-pack, is $10.25, so that doesn't actually seem like that bad of a deal.
$10.25.
Yeah, $10.25 for an 8-pack.
Jeez, that's way cheaper than here, because even here it's not that bad. It's what's the price? $14.48 for an 8-pack, and they got like the little mini cans. These things. That's what I wound up buying. I don't know.
Well, do you even have the
like
option
beer
of a
pricing
single?
in some what?
Do you even have the option of a single?
No. We have the singles of the Max, but we just have the 8-packs of Gold Shots.
Well, it's not terribly priced for 8 beers. I mean, I wouldn't want to have 8 of them, but if you're gonna buy them, it's not awful.
Rhino's in the chat saying, which Cold Shots are you looking at? We're looking at the original 6.0. But we did the Cold Shot Max 7.1 there a couple weeks ago.
And spoiler, I didn't like it at all. Everyone else seemed to like it more. So I
don't think this is going to be a very long episode, considering we're just sort of filling time here.
Well, I'm halfway done my beer, and I'm ready to give my review.
Don't really have to think about it too much.
Nah.
I guess the big question is, are you just going to dump the rest?
Gonna dump the rest down my throat, because this is not nearly as awful as 7.1 is. So
wow, that's actually kind of impressive.
Why don't I go into my review then, since we're talking about it anyway?
Why don't we put Greg up front, right? The front end, whatever it is. I'm tired.
This is more along the lines of what I expect from a Molson product. It's little bit of corn, definitely a lot of that wet cardboard paper. It's kind of what you expect from Molson, and frankly, what I expected from Molson 7.1, just maybe a little more boozy. This is vastly a better product based on my last can experience. One day when I've recovered, I may decide to try another Max 7.1 just out of sheer morbid curiosity. But yeah, this is like night and day better. Is it a great beer? Absolutely not. But especially if you're doing it the way it's really meant to be done, and grab a small can, just really cold out of the freezer ideally, and just chug a couple of them, and then you go out and don't spend as much money on alcohol. It gets the job done. It's better than Molson Canadian. It doesn't have any of the nasty aftertaste that Molson Canadian does. I imagine on tap, I don't even know if they would have this on tap, but because Molson products tend to fare a lot better on tap. Even Canadian is way better on tap than it is in the can, as long as they serve it to you really, really cold. But yeah, I think on tap this would actually be pretty good, if that's a thing. It's actually perfectly fine. So as a high ABV North American adjunct lager, I give for style, I give it a 7.5. And personal enjoyment, I give it a 6, which is perfect for the for the amount of alcohol it has. It's on the verge of, like, it's on the very low end of good for me, where it's like, this is fine. I could drink it again. If I had 8 of them, I would drink it. I wouldn't be too excited to do it. I don't see myself ever buying it again unless it's just for some tasting comparison. But yeah, so that's, and I'm gonna admit I've also been drinking a lot today, so I might be being a tad bit generous. But this is still a far better beer than Molson Cold Shots 7.1 was. So there you go. And I don't get a ton of corn from it, so I like that.
You're right about the lack of corn. I might as well. I'm sort of trying to formulate my opinions on this, but since you're done talking, I might as well think about it while on screen and embarrass myself.
There you go.
I do get a little bit of corn from it as it starts to warm up. It started like get a bit more corn, poppy, like mash, corn mash, like kind of flavors coming into the taste. It's not bad. I still get a lot of big like malt sweetness from this. Flavor profile is bready, corny. The hop note on it is clean, easy drinking. The hop note on it comes across as somewhere between grapefruit and a Euro hop kind of thing. Like it's got that earthy. And bear with me for a moment. Like when I say like it's not grapefruit like an IPA, it's kind of like you could tell they probably used a blend of European and North American hops. The flavor profile is very similar to Molson Canadian on brand. Does taste a little bit sweeter, a little stronger. It's just basically an amped up Molson Canadian like it advertises. It doesn't lie. It's okay. What's so great about it is that the fact that you can buy it in a little 8-pack, and say if you wanted to prep to get drunk for a party at night, then it's a good go-to beer. Certainly not a world-class tasting beer at all, but it's not horrible. I differ in the opinion where I came from that the Molson Cold Shots 7.1 Max, where I know Greg hated it, but I remember that one tasting a whole lot smoother. And that thing was like velvety smooth, like smoother than it really deserved to be, which fucking weirded me out. But in that regard, I like that one better than this. This one here, I find it's a little on the strong side. It makes it kind of hard to drink, but at the same time, if you don't really have to drink much. It's a small can, so the idea is just to shoot a whole bunch of these. It does the trick. So if you're looking for a high gravity lager, I'll give it a 7 for the style. But shit, I'll give it a 6, like Greg. For the
good score.
Enjoyment. I'm like somewhere between a 5 and a 6, but I'm just going to say fuck it and say 6.
Well, that should be easy to calculate the
yeah, there's only 2 of us. I mean, I kind of came up with my opinion and did the math before I even started talking, but I'll just put that in a little notepad here.
Well, I'll answer Chad's question. So, Chad, when we did the show, how many of us was there? There's a few of us on there. And I hated it. Everyone else kind of liked it, was on the verge of liking it for the most part. So I was definitely the odd one out.
We had Dan and Lee on the channel when they did the Max.
Yeah. So, again, I at some point would probably want to give that beer another chance, because usually when I hate a beer that much, I question whether it was an off can or something. But I'm not going to rush out and do that anytime soon. But at some point, I will try it and I will give Molson the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, which is weird because like when I had it, I liked it. I gave it an 8.5 for the style. It was it drank super smooth through what it was, and I'm like, what the fuck? It doesn't deserve to be this smooth for the shit macro beer that it is. So I don't know. Yeah, I would still try it. Just I know you will because you're curious. But yeah, like it was kind of weird. Like the way Greg described his can that time we had it, because he was like the outlier. Everybody else actually really liked the beer.
Yeah, no, I hated it. Like it was legit, probably one of the worst beers I've ever had in my life. Like it was that bad. So like I don't even know what I rated it, but it was pretty bad. So I think I gave it like a 3 and a 1 or something. But there we go. Oh,
there's a score. It's a shock.
I feel that beer. I mean, I feel putting it against other macro lagers, it actually does okay, at least especially for me, because lack of corn, because so many of them have so much corn. And yeah, I mean, overall, it's 6. Do it. Drink it if you want to get drunk. If that's.
I feel like you do get the corn out of this, but I do feel like because it's stronger and maybe a bit more malt forward, the corn's kind of, and especially if you drink it cold, like you're like cold shots, you're supposed to drink it. It does mask that corniness that a bit.
Yeah, but even this, I mean, mine's warmed up at this point. I mean, definitely you got that classic Molson cardboard, but not getting a lot of corn from it. Even though at this point it's probably getting close to room temperature. So I gotta say, I mean, I'm impressed just because I thought this beer would be awful, and I'm like, it's not great. I wouldn't choose to drink it, but it's better. Like, if you gave me this or a Canadian, I mean, other than the fact this has a little more alcohol, I would tell you, yeah, I'll take this over Canadian any day.
Yeah, well, I tried to get a couple of cans of these to Scott, but he ended up canceling on that bike ride that we were supposed to go on.
Well, that's very rude of you, Scott. Also, I mean, Scott could have come by on Tuesday. Come on, Scott.
Scott was going out of town, so
yeah. Well, he might be busy. I know he might even be busy today to be on the show because he's at his whatever his trailer park or whatever.
Yeah, he's out of town because he's at his trailer. Of course, it might be that like at his trailer, they're using like the potato internet that they have at the campground.
Oh, right, yeah.
You can't just install your own ISP at the trailer. So when he's up there and he's like working or something like that, he's hooked into the trailer park Wi-Fi, and he's got himself set up with a router that he connects this router from one antenna. He's got like an open source firmware on his router that uses one antenna to connect to the trailer park Wi-Fi and uses the other 10 antenna to broadcast into his trailer so everybody around can join. And but the thing is, it doesn't result in the fastest speeds of internet. So it's rare that he'll join one of our things from during the summer through the trailer. So it's just generally why he's not here.
I feel Scott needs to like construct some sort of a Wi-Fi machine to get faster internets.
Yeah. But I assume that's why he's out and why he's not here, because of the Canada Day holiday. And that's probably why we have no shows tonight, because I could have sworn the Lady and Dan have the beard for tonight. But who cares?
I mean, there's a high probability that Lady Lee's asleep. So
might be in some kind of food coma from that all those shish kebabs that she cooked up earlier.
I mean, also she had like 30 days of pride partying, and now it's back to straightness, and she's just exhausted.
She's like, she has to go back to dick now. Fuck.
Wow.
I know. I love the whole month of titties. That's.
Well, I mean, at the very least, she has her own, so it's not like she's going to do without.
And Chad's like, that's the reason I'm often able to watch right now, because you just had an entire month of titties. He's never.
It's Canada Day.
It's Canada Day.
No, he hasn't had 26 and 26.
Not yet, anyway.
Well,
more like an hour and 26 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, so we haven't. I forget what we were going to talk about. Like as far as we got the scores, nobody's going to ask next week's beer. Well, Chad might. But
next week's beer, Nick? Why don't you tell us?
Well, I'm kind of thinking, and now I'm like on the fence of discussing this. Maybe we should just do a hangout next week. But at the same time, what I'd like to do now that we've got all these collective arts beers is finally do IPA number 33.
Yeah, which my can is like from January or February, so I would like to do it.
Yeah, my can is dated January 27th. I've had this in my fridge for like 4 months now, because I've been waiting for you guys to get this beer in Ontario, and it turned out that only certain LCBOs got it, and finally you and Lady Lee have got a can, so we can do this beer now. But goddamn, this beer is already 6 months old.
Well, why don't we? Well, hey, you know what? That's on Collective Arts for not making it more available, and we'll review the product as it's still been sold to us, because they're still selling it, so therefore we can review it. That's the best part.
I want to say, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I had the grapefruit one. I can't remember the name of it, but I had the grapefruit one, the last IPA, and it was over 6 months old, and it was good. I got nothing. I had no complaints about it. So,
collective arts generally has pretty good shelf life. Let's and also I would say that if Scott Winters, look, Chad did ask the actual question while we're answering it.
There we
go. So Chad asked the question. There you go. We're doing this.
Yeah, and if for whatever reason something changes or people can't make it, then we do a hangout. But let's just plan to do that beer otherwise.
Apparently, if Scott, I doubt Scott's watching, but if he did want to show up next week, we still have this in stock. It's IPA number 33, so I doubt very much that it's fresher than this. Who knows? You can take a look at those cans. Maybe they're from March. I doubt it. I don't know how long they produce these, but I'm pretty sure they only do 1 or 2 runs, and then that's it.
Since I'm pretty sure mine is. Hold on, let's have a look. See, mine's from February 5th. So.
Yeah, mine's January 27th.
Oh, okay. So mine's fresher than yours, technically.
Yeah, technically, you're splitting hairs.
Mine was unrefrigerated though the whole time.
So it says that the hops in this are late harvest Moteca, Nelson Sauvin, Moteca, and Nelson Sauvin Hop Keef. What the fuck is Hop Keef? Find out next week.
Yeah, maybe Ashley Sexton will be here to explain that to us.
Yeah, right. No, yeah, but we were still waiting for him to explain what a foeder is.
Well, one of these days when he's not, doing the baseball or whatever.
Chad's like, "How you have 2 viewers, but no idea who the second is? It's probably Greg."
Yeah, so I have the chat open here, so it's probably me. So, but Chad's our only chatter, so there we go.
Chad GPT.
Chad GBT. There we go. I used to think that's what it was actually called. My wife first started telling me about it. I'm like, oh, Chad GBT. Okay, it's like a weird version of the Rhino.
Anyway, so there you go. It is in only 32 minutes. That's how short an episode can be when there's not.
And we tried to pad this thing out. Like we've been yapping about stupid shit.
Oh, I mean, fuck! I biked I'm tired. I biked 77 kilometers today.
Oh, there you go.
My new non-e-bike record.
Well, there you go. Now you can go to bed early and get your sleep, so you don't have to call in sick tomorrow.
That's right. Sure, do that anyway. Oh, Brandon's not here.
Oh no, is Brandon on vacation?
Is
Brandon on vacation or something?
I have no idea what Brandon's up to these days. I know he's. We got one guy who works at a local private school that's on vacation, so Brandon's been out there covering him for the last week. So I haven't really talked much to Brandon since last week. But that's another story.
That's another. Well, we'll tune in next week and we'll discover what happened to Brandon.
Yeah, he was sleeping with the fishes.
Wow.
Great.
That got
all right. Hey, we finally have 4 viewers. I don't know who they are. Welcome. How you doing, sir?
I don't know. Yeah. You're now we're gonna leave and say penis.
We're gonna leave and say penis, and you'll have to watch the replay. We'll be back next week for
penis with an elbow.
Collective Arts Between the Palms. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
Bye.
What's Chad saying? You both know where to find me when you go offline. You want to keep drinking.
No, I think Chad's doing a live show.
I can always take a look. All right. Cheers.
Might join that. Bye-bye.